Cheers. Just a cup of tea. So this is a very impromptu sort of explanation of individual items in the gallery, which I thought I would introduce people to and see if they enjoy it, see how it goes, see if I enjoy it. I'm not a professional at any kind of marketing or professional kind of presentation, it's obvious. And anyway, so I'll just jump straight into it. So I'm very, very lucky and privileged to be surrounded by, for short periods of time, really very interesting or sort of educational, beautiful, or sometimes expensive, sometimes not expensive at all, antiques. And I thought that they deserved a broader audience, really. So I thought one of the ways to do that would be to do a video, a short video hopefully, where I just introduce one piece at a time, and people can see them and enjoy them as much as, you know, I enjoy being around them. So one of my favourite things in the gallery at the moment, so the gallery is, if I didn't say, is the Reuben Lenkiewicz Fine Art Gallery. We specialise in paintings or fine art, and we also do antiques, and we do jewellery, watches, but vintage, mostly vintage, or pieces that have a particularly beautiful or unusual quality. Okay, so what I thought I'd talk about, and I've chosen one of the more difficult things to really jump straight into, is these figures. So what these bizarre, comical, but also interesting figures. So these are called Zodiac figures. They are very difficult for me to date precisely. They're Chinese, and they are probably from the Tang dynasty, which was a equivalent of the Renaissance in China, as in Europe. It was a time of flourishing of, you know, sciences, and arts, and society generally, culture generally. So the Tang dynasty, sort of 6th century, that's what we're sort of around that figure. And these are 3 figures. We've got the pig, the goat, and the rat. The rat, so these are 3 figures from 12 zodiacs. They all have human characteristics, and they are, this whole subject is really fascinating. I'm really not just saying this. It is amazing. It's like going down a rabbit hole of all the different aspects of divinology, of I Ching, of the prediction of the future, of culture and society, agriculture, attitudes to marriage, how societies are held together. They all are encompassed in these objects. They had no real practical use, but they actually formed a way of gluing society together, because they were used for many different rituals in the day-to-day lives, important aspects of life for the Chinese people. But they also are found in many, many different cultures in the East. So Thailand, Japan, or right across the East. So there are 12 figures. The figures are basically animals that were used, that were part of the lives of the people of the time. So you define yourself by a year. So each of these represent a particular year over a 60-year cycle. The zodiac is like the 12 zodiacs, or the 12 earthly branches, and it's a 60-year cycle. And then part of that is also the 5 elements. So you had metal, wood, fire, and so on, water, gold. So the 5 elements are also incorporated into the kind of culture of understanding what your good luck or bad luck of your life would be, or particularly with these, your marriage would be. So then part of that also is each of these elements had a yin and yang, a good and bad. So the 5 elements then become 10 elements, and as you can kind of see how there's a sort of mathematical 60-year cycle. So 1968 was when I was born. I'm the year of the monkey, but that's my year animal in the zodiac. But there's also your birth animal, your secret animal to do with the hour you're born in, and then the 5 elements that you're associated with. All of these things are then, your personality can be read through that. But really, the 12 zodiac animals, starting with number 1, which is the rat, is the dragon and the ram and the ox and the snake, and they are all have these characteristics which are variable depending on the depending on the country, or depending on the area. So China had a different group of characteristics, and slightly different animals as well, to say Thailand. I think Thailand didn't have the dragon. The dragon is auspicious. He's the emperor. He represents royalty, wealth. The rat, for some reason, represents wisdom. The monkey, wit, intelligence, and so on. So there we go. Then, so basically, the mythology as well comes into these objects. The mythology starts with a great story, like all myths do. The Jade Emperor, representing kind of God, the great, on his birthday, decided to teach mankind and womankind how to see time, see the future, see their lives. And to do so, he created a race, a race that was called the Great Race, and it was joined by 12 animals, and they raced along a river, and then each one came in and had an adventure, and they all win the sort of get to the end of the race, using the particular qualities. Of course, here the rat came first through cleverness. And this great myth is a long and complicated story that encompasses many different cultural attitudes and philosophical ideas. But in the end, it's as much about the culture as it is about the individual. It tells you more about cultural differences than it does about personal differences. And that's why it's important, that's why it's interesting. So, if you were born in 2007, you'd be, say for example, yin, fire, plus the pig. You have an inner animal, which is your month. You have, there are many aspects to it. This culture has been discovered. It was first thought that it had some relationship with Western zodiac constellations, 12 constellations, but it doesn't. It's much, much older than they realised. It's associated with agriculture and the beginnings of farming, attitudes to animals and so on. It's a truly fascinating subject, and these beautiful objects are in the gallery. You can come and see them and enjoy them. Don't feel that you have to buy them. You're welcome to just come and have a look, and they are beautiful examples. They still have much of the detail of the official robes, which are extremely sort of imposing and dramatic, and then on top of that you have these amazing comical heads and faces that are full of character, and absolutely beautiful. The patina is still there, terracotta, even the green on the lapels, a dye, is still there after all this time. The sand inside is even there. They're really very beautiful. These are only 3 of a whole group of Tang Dynasty or burial figures that we have. I'll go into more detail about this particular figure another time, but this, just for you to see, is a beautiful example of a burial figure, a different thing to these. She would have been a servant figure, and it shows the fashion, the hat style and hair, the lapels, the details of the clothes are extraordinary, and the coloration and condition is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. An extraordinary culture. So this is the first one I've done, and I'm sorry it's gone on a little bit long. So again, my name's Reuben. I'll have guests and friends that we've been talking about the idea of doing this. This is just one small room. The gallery is downstairs, and we have an extraordinary selection of paintings and Art Deco and jewellery and beautiful fine art, pottery, furniture. We really do have something for everyone, and that's was kind of my plan or my idea with the business. So thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed this, and you can email me or get in contact with me through lenkiewicz.com, and contact the gallery as well. And hope you found that interesting. Very, very, very cursory, brief description of an extremely complicated, deep subject. And so there they are. Thank you. Cheers.